After trying hard, you got flight for Korea yesterday late night, and now you both are in Korea. And it was tiring 14 hours flight. Jungkook straight went to office. This is what he told you, and you're home. You walk in, and Jungkook's mother smiled at you. How are you? She asked as she served water as you took a sip and looked at her. It was good. She smiled as sits beside you. I saw pictures. You both are looking beautiful together. She said, smiling, and you just passed her a small smile. Where is Sia and Oli? You asked, looking around. Sia is at university. Oli might be at her friend's house. You nodded. Should I bring you something to eat? You shook your head as you gulped down the water. No, actually, I have to go home, you said. But you should rest, she insisted. I have some work. I'll be back. And sorry I forgot to tell you that Jungkook is left for office. She smiled. I know. His father told me he's with him. You stared at her for a while. Because you thought he might went to meet Sophia? Because in the whole time she was calling him non-stop. After their flight got delayed by 2 days. Daughter, what are you saying? She asked while Mr. Kim just stared at you blankly. Oma, I'm saying... Shut up and stop talking nonsense, he said, cutting you off in a little high pitch. But Appa, he caught up in between the conversation. Stop talking nonsense, fine, if you don't want to see my wrath. He walked near him. Appa, I'm feeling suffocated, why don't you understand? And he glared at you. What do you want then? You will break this marriage and then what? He looked at him. Appa, try to understand, we both are not happy. And he just glared at you, gritting teeth. How you will be happy then? He asked, gritting teeth while you gulped. I don't know right now, but please. Mr. Kim shut his eyes as he made face. Just now I started to know about myself. I wanted to explore and want to learn. Before you could complete, a hard slap landed on your face. Your tears slid down as you got shut. If you talked about this again in front of me, then no one will be worse than me, he said in little high pitch while you control your sob, and he walked in. And daughter, she tried to approach you, but you jerked her hand as you wiped your tears. I told you many times, don't disobey him. You looked at him angrily with teary eyes. Then what should I do? From childhood till today, I'm obeying him, Oma. There is no my life. He took every decision of my life, from career to partner. I left Soho because of him and started focusing on myself and moved on. When I was moving forward in my life, he gave me full of stop then. Then what should I do? You just keep standing like this and watching. He used me as his asset. If you can't give happiness to your kids, then why you bring them in the world? To control their life? Why? She said in little high pitch. He wants to see you happy. Don't want you to suffer. That's why he did this. Life is not what you see. He chuckled painfully as a tear slid down. Happy? You don't have any idea what your daughter is going through. You have no idea, he bitterly said. In the age of learning and exploring, I'm suffering, Oma. I'm dying every day. And you don't have any idea. Your voice broke a little as a sob left from your mouth. You both feel less pain. Yeah, I'll be a good daughter. Will definitely make you proud, even if she is suffering. I won't say I hate you guys because I can't. I'm sorry I troubled you both. Saying this, he walked. You took support of the wall as you covered your mouth, controlling your sobs, and you cried silently as you sat down and cried out loud. As your phone rings and you took out while sniffing as you saw it's Jungkook and you declined at it once. Jungkook frowned as he looked at his phone and looked at your mother while she is looking down. And she looked at her husband who is sitting there controlling his anger. She declined, he mumbled as your mother looked at him. Maybe she is driving, that's why. She speaks nervously. She didn't bring her car, that's why I came here to pick. he blurted out, and your parents exchanged glances. Let me call her, your mother said as she dialed your number, but you didn't pick as she looked at Jungkook. She isn't picking, she said, and Jungkook bit his lower lip, being worried. Okay, I'll check on her, he said, and your mother nodded, and he walked out. Jungkook called you again and again, but you didn't pick, so he opened your chat and dropped a voice note. Please pick up my phone, you are making everyone worried. He looked at his phone as he brushed his hair. She's so complicated and childish, he mumbled, as he sat in his car and about to drive, but his phone rings as he looked at the caller ID and instantly picked up. Where are you? I'm going to pick you. He didn't let her speak as he remained silent and he sighed. Ryan, are you listening me? Can you tell me where are you? He calmly said, and he only can hear your heavy breathing. Jungkook came running, searching for her all around, and his steps slowed down, and finally he spotted her. He saw you sitting on the bench as he slowly walked near her and approached her. Ryan. He approached her as he looked up. Are you okay? He asked, and you got up as you stared at him blankly. What are you doing here alone? You just stared at him blankly when he moved slightly closer to you. At least say something, but when suddenly you hugged him, making him froze at his spot. You cried silently in his arm, and he didn't hug you back for a while, but then he slowly wrapped his one hand around you. You didn't say anything, not he did, but you cried silently that he can't hear you. You wiped your tears as you broke the hug. I'm sorry, you said, looking away as you hid your tears, and he looked at you seriously. What happened? Why are you crying? He said, tilting his head to look at you, and you finally looked at him. I'm okay, you said with a slight smile when he noticed your cheeks twitches red as he slowly touched and you moved away. You can tell me. We can't live together. I don't want to live with you, you said, cutting him off as he looked at you unbelievably. You are not happy with me anyway. You hate me. Then what's the point of living together? Let's split. Please divorce me, Jungkook. He looked at you with speechless as you walked near him, holding his shoulder. I'm younger, but you are mature and old enough to make decisions. Then why don't you take decisions? If you want, we can talk to your father. Jungkook sighed and made you sit as he knelt down in front of you. Firstly, calm down and tell me what happened. Your tears dropped on his hair as he looked at you. I can't tell you. It's just we can't live together. Saying this, you got up and walked, while he looked at your disappearing figure, tears in his hands. He made feast, closing his eyes. Please eat, he said as you kept playing with food as you looked at him. I don't have appetite. He glared at you as he took the spoon and extended it to you. Now eat, I don't want to hear anything, he said, glaring at you while you stared at him. Please, I don't. We are not going home unless you eat something. If we have to sit whole night, I will, he commanded as you stared at him. Why you are imposing your orders on me? And he smiled a little. Of course I'm older than you. Your mom didn't teach you how to respect elders, he blurted out while you squinted as you took a bite, glaring at him, and he smiled. You took a spoon from his hand when he is about to feed you again, and he smiled internally while you continued eating, while he kept looking at you when his phone is ringing again and again, and he put it on silent. As a soft music playing in background and couple are dancing one by one, as spotlight stopping at them randomly. And you both didn't thought it would stop on you because you were sitting in the corner very hidingly, but it stopped at you both. You both looked at each other as you gulped down the last bite. Whoa, I would like to invite this beautiful couple on stage, the anchor said, but his eyes widened in surprise as he smiled. Wait, if I'm not wrong, it's John Jungkook and his wife John Ryan, right? Jungkook faced palmed himself as others cheers. Sir, ma'am, you are the special guest of this night. Please come, I request you both. As everyone gave you standing ovation, and you both looked at each other. Jungkook got up while you looked at him surprised. What are you doing? You mouthed at him, and he extended his hand to you, staring in your soul. shall we? You couldn't, Danny, as you looked around, everyone's eyes on you. As you slowly put your hand in his, smiling nervously, looking at everyone, and you got up. And he pulled you closer to him, making your breath hitch as everyone cheered. Jungkook's hands hold your waist a little possessively as their eyes locking with an intensity. As the rhythm took over, they began to dance, their bodies moving in perfect sync. Every step brought them closer, their touches lingering a little longer than necessary. Jungkook's hands on Ryan's face sent a shiver down to her spine, while Ryan's fingers tracing his arms made his heart race. With each step, their connection grew stronger. Jungkook's eyes never left Ryan's, and she could feel the intensity of his gaze. His touch was gentle yet firm, his hands creating a warm, comforting presence on her waist. They glided across the floor, their movement fluid and synchronized. Jungkook led Vine into a spin, her dress twirling around her as she turned. As she came back to face him, their hands intertwined and he pulled her closer again, their bodies almost touching. The proximity made Vine's heart race, and she could feel the heat radiating from Jungkook's body. He lifted her into a graceful lift, her body weightless in his strong arms. When he set her down, their faces were inches apart. For a brief moment, time seemed to stand still as they shared breath, their eyes revealing the depth of their feelings. Transitioning into a more passionate tango, Jungkook's movements become bolder, his hands trailing down Vine's arms, leaving a trail of a tingling skin in its wake. Vine responded with equal favor, her fingers brushing against his cheeks before she turned away, only to be pulled back into his embrace, and her breath hissed as he made him look at her. Vine's arms around his neck and her fingers playing with his hair. As the music swelled, they moved in perfect unison, their bodies speaking the words they couldn't say out loud. The dance ended with a dramatic dip. Jungkook's face close to Vine's, their breaths mingling. For a moment, they forgot where they are. Jungkook was completely lost as they were closely when Jungkook was leaning in, carrying intensity in his eyes. And inches away, Vine puts hand on his mouth as her breath is heavy and she looked at him being scared a little. And he's looking at her with intensity when everyone clapped and we moved back looking away. Best dance of this night, he said, giving you standing ovation. When Jungkook looked at his phone, which is ringing constantly, and he sighed as he picked up. Yes, Sophia, but he found hearing someone else's voice. Jungkook, not Sophie, me and her friend, she said, and Jungkook sighed. And, but why are you calling from her phone? He said. Jungkook, do you have any idea? You didn't even ask for her well-being. What happened to you? Jungkook held his head. Yeah, and what happened? He said. Sophia got into accident yesterday. Jungkook, what you did to her? Why you made her miserable? Jungkook felt his blood getting cold. What? And how? He said worriedly as you noticed him. Just because of you. You knew how much she loves you. She angrily said. Where is she? Is she alright? He asked worriedly, but call declined. Hello, Anne, but call already declined as he about to walk, but you held his hand. What happened? Is everything alright? You asked, approaching him, and his steps halted as he shut his eyes and looked at you again. I need to go. Sophia needs me, he said, and your grip immediately loosened from his hand as he looked at your hand and held it. Let me drop you home, he said, holding your hand, and you shook your head. No, it's okay, you go, you said, and when you're about to walk, but he held tighter. Then let me call the driver to pick you, he said, and you nodded. He called the driver as he confirmed that he will be there in 5 minutes, and after you insisted him, he went from there. What have you done to yourself? He said, looking at her, and she looked other side. If you are here to say this, then go, she said, and Jungkook sighed. Sophia, why don't you understand? Please. She looked at him as she held his hands. By looking at you, I'm feeling that you have moved on, Jungkook. How? This quickly? She blurted out, and Jungkook has no answer. Oh yes, you have a wife now. What about me? Jungkook gulped. I told you, Sophia. What the hell you told me? Tell me. Why is that easy for you? She yelled, and he stared at her as realization hitting him, and tears filled in his eyes. I'm married now, he said in low voice, and she chuckled sadly. You are telling me this or to yourself that you are married? Because I heard this hundreds of times before. Jungkook felt his throat getting heavy. You know what the truth is? You want both. She bitterly said, and Jungkook gritted tears in his eyes. And the truth is, I never got into accident. I'm alright, she said, removing his bandages, and he stared at her shocked. You are not mine, nor your wife's, she continued. What do you want me to do? He said with trembling voice. To continue a relationship with you even after getting married? She looked at him with tears. I don't know, but I swear I will do something if you didn't come back to me. I'll take my life, she said, making him look at her shocked. Have you gone mad? He whispered. Yes, she whispered back. The words echoed in his ears again and again, and he smashed the flower vase on the floor in frustration. When you walked in, as you looked at the flower vase and then him, when his eyes landed on you, he quickly looked away, catching breath, as his breath is heavy when you slowly walk in. You didn't come, so I'm here to ask you, how is Sophia? Before you could complete, he pulled you closer harshly. Why you came in my life, just why? He said, gritting teeth while you struggled in his grip, looking at him confused. Have you gone mad? Leave me, you said, trying to free yourself from his grip. Yes, I have gone mad. I am crazy, he whispered with intensity and aggression in his voice. He's looking at like anger take over at him when he leaned in, yes, to kiss you. But before he could do that, you slapped him hard as his face turned other side, and you got free from his grip, and realization hit him as he shut his eyes, regretting while you looked at him again. You are worse, none less than a beast, you bitterly said, and he didn't dare to look in your eyes. When you walked near him, as you grabbed his collar, and he looked at you with regret in his eye, but it has no apology. Listen, Jungkook, if you think me as your toy that you will use me however you want, then open your eyes. I am your wife, not your fucking slave, you said, gritting teeth. Being your wife, I will never let you give the right to do whatever you want to do, understand? I'm not a weak woman, you said, as you jerked him away, and he remained silent. You walked furiously out, and while he looked at your disappearing figure as he dropped himself on knees and punched on the floor, and broken pieces of glass pierced his skin, and he cried in agony. You shut your eyes when some flashes comes in your mind, and you grabbed your head as it is aching badly, and tears slid down from your eyes when your secretary came, and you wiped your tears quickly. Ma'am, clients have a right, he said as you looked at him, and he stopped when he noticed tears in your eyes. Are you okay, ma'am? He asked, and you nodded as you gulped somewhat. Yeah, Sir John come or not? He nodded a little. He came an hour ago. Everyone is waiting for you, he said, and you nodded as you got up. Go, I'm coming, you said, and he nodded. The clients looks interested when you put some of your inputs in the plan. They listen carefully. Also, Jungkook, who is sitting quietly with his gaze never leaves you, while you never looked at him and completely ignored him while whole the time in the meeting. Quite appealing. I like your inputs, Miss Mayan, the client said. Thanks, smiling while Jungkook just adored her. That sounds promising. We are actually interested in shared resources for R&D. How do you manage this integration? We have established a joint committee that will oversee the integration process. This committee includes key members for both the companies, ensuring that we have maintained transparency and efficiency throughout. James noted. Excellent. We are confident that this approach will yield great. Frederick and James exchanged glances as he looked at you. I am interested in this deal, he said with a smile, and you nodded. And when you finally looked at Jungkook, who was already looking at you. Mr. John, you professionally said when he blinked and looked around, then back at you. Would you like to add something? You asked, and he got up. I had my ideas on this project, but after hearing Miss Ryan's ideas on it, I don't think anything is left. Everyone is the boardroom clapped. I'm ready to sign up for a project with you, Mr. John, the other client said, and Jungkook smiled when he looked at you. We'll have formalities whenever our president says, he said, looking at you while you didn't look at him. We can move forward with the signing of the agreement. Sure, let's do it today itself. We are looking forward to a successful partnership. Sure. Mr. Nim, you said, as gesturing as he brings the agreement papers. Your beauty with brain, Miss Ryan. You smiled in reply while Jungkook just looked at you. And then client proceed to sign the agreement documents and Jungkook assist and assured everything goes smoothly as he extended the pen to you and you signed the papers. Congratulations to all of us. Here's to a prosperous and innovative future together. The room filled with applause and expression of goodwill as the deal is sealed. When you looked at Jungkook with a slight smile and maintaining the professionalism. Congratulations, Mr. John. You said, extending your hand for the handshake, and he accepted with a smile. You too, Mrs. John. He said, smiling as you try to take your hand back, but he's not ready to leave. He lowered the hands while holding yours, and he looked at everyone while you struggled to get your hand back. Mr. Jungkook, I have something to discuss with you. He spoke, and Jungkook smiled. Sure, we can have conversation in my cabin. He nodded, and the client walked outside as he looked at you again. I'm sorry, he whispered, and you glared at him. Leave my hand. You whispered back, glaring at him, but he pulled you closer to him, and your eyes widened a little. A big round of applause for our president for cracking the first and biggest deal of her career, he said as his eyes locked in yours. Everyone clapped while you smiled nervously, looking at everyone as he slowly intertwined his hand in yours while you just stared at him. Drinks for everyone from my side, he said as he smiled. Sure, Mr. John, but why only drinks for cracking this deal? There should be a celebration, Jungkook smiled. We surely can, but for that thing you should ask to the president. You looked at them nervously. Our president will surely give us a huge party. As everyone laughed and you smiled nervously. I was joking. We surely have celebration. Our president is little nervous as she is new to all this, but still handle everything gracefully, he said smiling. Yeah, she is impressive, Jungkook smiled. I'll take a leave then. I have a talk. Everyone nodded as he looked at you and slowly leave your hand as he quickly moved away and Jungkook walked out. We will have a celebration for sure. You spoke and everyone smiled and nodded. Surely we are looking forward. You chuckled a little. Yeah, you all can leave. They nodded. Jungkook looked at the photo in his laptop and played the dance video which he smiled looking at to himself. And he didn't even realize until he heard a knock on his door as he looked up and you were standing and his smile dropped as he looked at the laptop and then you. And you sighed and walked in. And he immediately got up. Yes. And you gave him a cold look. My car is in servicing. It has some problems, so you can come with me. He firmly replied and you nodded a little. As you were about to walk but stopped as he called you, and you shut your eyes as he walked near you. I'm sorry, he said, and you didn't look at him as he poked your inner cheek. I was frustrated and he lashed out on me. He said, cutting him off, and he gave you an apologetic look. I'm sorry, you sighed and just nodded. But I still won't be talking to you, so don't. You said coldly as he looked at you. You were about to walk, but when he held your finger as you looked at him, and then he is looking at you innocently. If you ever have any problem with me, then you can tell me, he said with serious expression. I never had any problem with you. It's you who always have a problem with me, you said in low voice, and he looked at you speechless. You walked while he stared your disappearing figure. Here's the papers, he said, extending you an envelope, and you take out as you read it carefully, and your heart dropped reading it, but you put it back and smiled. This thing is between me and you, Mr. Nam. He nodded. Sure, you can trust me with that, he said, and you nodded. Thanks once again, you said, and he nodded and left. If no one, then me, you mumbled as you called some. He's all yours, you said with a heavy throat, and unknowingly a tear slid down from your eyes, which you wiped immediately. Thank you, Ryan. You didn't say anything. Don't ever call me again, you said. I never will. Thank you for giving my Jungkook back to me. You just nodded. I'm no one to give him to you. Rest is up to you. It's your call now, you said. Goodbye. You declined the call as tears slid down from your eyes, which you wiped. As you took support of the table and let your tears fall. I don't know what's going to happen next, you mumbled. Yeah, we both are free. He is free, I am free, you mumbled as you wiped your tears. Mr. Nam, you called him as you didn't find Jungkook in his cabin. Yes, ma'am, Ryan, he said, bowing to. Where is Jungkook? He slapped himself. Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell you. Sir asked me to inform you that he is going somewhere, but he left his car for you because he thought he might get late. You didn't say anything for a while. If you say I call any driver for you, you immediately shook your head. No, that's okay, I'll go by myself. He nodded. Sure, go home safely. You nodded and he walked. Even after saying he did this, you mumbled and you chuckled painfully. I have also got into the habit of going with you every day. You mumbled as you smiled, but there is a pain. You felt headache as you hold your head for a while, then walked. Jungkook opened the door, being all mess, as room is dark but a night lamp is on, and he spotted you as a sad smile appears on his face. Your eyes are closed and sleeping peacefully, and he locked the door before walking near as he knelt down and removed hair from your face and adored you. Why are you like this? Why don't you complain me? He mumbled as tears dropped from his eyes. I know, I say I hate you, but I also don't know what I actually do, he mumbled. On a serious note, I'm actually tired, Ryan. I'm so tired, I can't do it anymore. I can't. I don't know what's happening with me. I'm feeling messed right now. I'm broke, I don't know. He rested his forehead on your hand and cried more. He looked at you and kissed your cheek gently. I'm breaking apart slowly, he said. I blamed you for my problems, but I am the problem, he kissed her forehead. I'm feeling suffocated. I'm done. He wiped his. Look at you. You are so young, still mature than me. And here I'm crying helplessly, he mumbled. He took your hand in his and kissed it gently and kissed your forehead. You know, you were right. I'm getting habitual of you. It's not a bad habit, but a good one. He smiled with tears. I'm sorry, he mumbled. Good morning, everyone, he said with a bright smile, and everyone frowned looking at him as his sudden change in behavior. Good morning, son. Good morning, Oppa, she said, smiling. Good morning, you're looking good, he said, smiling as he looked at him. You look good when you smile, his dad said, and he just smiled as he looked at you, who is focused on food. Good morning, he said softly to you, and you just looked at him with a slight smile. Good morning, you replied with a small smile. I heard about the international you both cried. Jungkook smiled. Appa, we have to celebrate it. I mean, celebration is must. He nodded. Wine can decide the date whatever she wants. She looked at him. Yes, Appa, I have already talked to coordinator. He smiled. Very smart. You smiled a little. When though? You looked at Jungkook. Next week. You said looking at him when he looked at you and you look away. I found that day is perfect. Mr. John nodded. Wait, fine. Next week is your birthday, right? She said out of blue and you just focused on your food. Wait. And celebration should be huge then. You looked at him. No need, Appa. You replied with low tone. Why not? Jungkook, you should plan surprise for her. Jungkook looked at you. Mom's surprise shouldn't be discussed. He said looking at you as you look. I'm done with my breakfast. I think I should go. You said getting up and when he hold your hand. Wait for me, I'm also coming. He said picking 2 sandwiches in his hands as you look at him. I'll go by myself from now on. He ignored as he dragged you with him, ignoring your words. Bye everyone, he said while walking with her, and you don't know why he just did that. Oh, I also need to go office today. He said, face palming himself. I think I should also go with them. He said, getting up. Appa, Jagi, let them go alone. Have some time alone. Don't you see how happy he was? She said, and he sighed. Yeah, I'll go by my car. He exhaled. Jungkook played soft music in the car in which they danced on as you are glaring at him in mirror and he does too. Say something. You want to lash out on me? He said, smiling a little, and you look away. I feel like breaking your face. Can I do that too? He laughed a little and he glared. I said, leave me. You said, jerking his hand a little as he looked at you done. I'll go by myself. He folded his arms across his chest. Your car is in service then now? You gestured him with your gaze as he followed and spotted your car. You shook your head as you took your car keys and about to walk. Do you have pen? He asked and you frowned. Yes, why? You uninterestedly said and he smiled. Give me that. You squint and he gestured you and you took out the pen and gave it to him. You walked and unlocked your car, but then you heard tire bursting sound. As you look and your eyes widened and Jungkook got up, dusting off his hands. Your tire is punctured. It needs servicing again. And your mouth hung open. What the heck, Jungkook? You said, walking near him, widening your eyes. Jungkook took the car keys from your hands and threw it to the driver as he captured it. Fix this puncture, he said, instructing him, and he nodded as he looked at you again. Now let's go. You kept glaring at him. Sorry, my face is precious. He replied, smiling, and you look away, getting done from him. As you looked at him again, and give him a smile. You have one liability on me. I will return when the time comes. You said, smiling in return, and he raised brows while smiling. Sure, my highness. You smiled and looked. You reached office building as he quickly got off and he does too. As he kept looking at you when you walked near him, looking in his eyes, and you took his car keys from his hand and he just stared you blankly. Later his eyes widened as he threw it in near his leg. Hey, but it's already gone. And he looked at you done and you smiled. It's fine now. We got one-on-one. You said smilingly and walked in while he sighed and chuckled a little as he also walked in. You were smiling until you saw your smile in your glass as your smile slowly faded away. And you shut your eyes as you shook your head and walked in. You placed your phone when your phone rings as you looked. It's your dad. At first, you hesitated. Initially, you picked. You just hummed in his response. How everything is going? He asked and you smiled. Good, Appa. When he hesitated a bit, initially spoke. You're doing something without my knowledge? He asked coldly and you felt speechless. Listen, mine, if you have issues, we can sit and talk, he calmly said. There's nothing left to talk, Appa, you said coldly. Listen, daughter, try to understand what are you thinking to do is not right, he chuckled sadly. Appa, now I'm not your responsibility, right? Then let me do anything I want. Listen, daughter, don't worry, I will not come back to you because I'm not a burden. I'm sure you would not also welcome me with open arms, do you? You painfully said. You have gone crazy, don't do any stupid stuff. Yes, I'm stupid, crazy as well. I'm bad, Appa. But I'm not one of you. Your tears slide down. Bye. Saying this, you declined the call. You closed your eyes, letting your tears out as you hold your head and grabbed water glass and drank with your trembling hands. You grabbed your hair as you wiped your tears, but it falls more relentlessly. Stop, you fell on your knees. The door knocked as he looked at the door and frowned, looking at Sophia, but initially she walks in. What are you doing here? He coldly said, and she held his hand. Jungkook, I'm here for you, and he rolled his eyes. I'm not going in your guilt trap again, understand? He said as she tried to cuff his face, but he backed away. Sophia, please don't. I know I'm your culprit, but now at least you should try to understand, he said, getting annoyed. I'm not getting anything. I'm not understanding. Sophia, when we were together, that thing was different. I had regret to break your heart, but what you did now really got me, he said, shaking his head. I did everything for you, Jungkook, to get you back, but I didn't know you really won't care even if I die. She hugged him suddenly as he tried to broke, but she is hugging him tight. I don't care now because you made me feel sick. Why can't you understand you're suffocating me by your actions? He broke the hug forcefully. You don't know that day I left her alone for you. For you, god damn it. And you were lying? He angrily said as she hugged him again. I'm sorry, Jungkook, I'm really sorry, she cried, hugging him.